So what happens when a sudden crisis puts one of the world's newest, hottest financial hubs to the ultimate test? We're talking about a high-stakes story of money, power, and what happens when a place that's supposed to be a safe haven suddenly doesn't feel so safe anymore. Let's get into what's really on the line here.
Okay, check out this quote. A top broker in Dubai said, "We are not seeing panic, but there is a clear pause in decision-making." This just nails the vibe on the ground right now. It's not like everyone's running for the door, but you can feel the air change. It's like the music's been turned down, the pens are down, and those billion-dollar deals, they're on ice. This tells you the shockwaves are very, very real.
So let's break down what's actually going on. For 3 straight years, Dubai's property market has been absolutely on fire. I mean, just a massive boom. And then, bam, it hits a geopolitical wall. All these rising tensions linked to the Iran crisis have pumped a huge dose of, let's hold on a second, into a market that was pretty much running on pure adrenaline.
And what does that hold on a second attitude actually look like? Well, we're hearing about clients pulling out of deals. Signings are getting delayed. Fewer people are even showing up to look at properties. And the big money luxury buyers, the ones who are usually unshakable, even they're asking more questions, taking their sweet time. The bottom line is this: that crazy, frenetic pace is gone. It's been replaced by a wait-and-see game.
But wait, why does a regional crisis have such a huge instant effect on Dubai? This is the key. You have to understand, Dubai isn't just some local real estate market. It's a global magnet for cash. Its entire success story is built on pulling in wealth from every corner of the planet. And that makes it super sensitive to these kinds of global shocks. When the world gets nervous, so does the money.
Look, this pause in the market is about way more than just a few slow weeks for property sales. What's really at stake here is something so much bigger. We're talking about Dubai's hard-won title as the world's new #1 spot for the super rich.
Get a load of this number: 9,800. That's how many millionaires net moved into the UAE just last year alone. Think about that. That's not just a number on a page. It's a massive shift in where the world's wealth is going.
And that's exactly what it means. The UAE, and let's be real, Dubai is the crown jewel here, officially became the top dog for global wealth migration. It basically pulled off becoming the new Switzerland, the ultimate safe place for money in a world that feels anything but safe.
So you might be wondering, how does all this money actually move around? Well, a big part of the answer is something called a family office. Just think of them as the super private, ultra-elite investment firms for the world's richest families. When you hear about wealth migrating, it's often these quiet, powerful family offices packing their bags and setting up in a new city.
Okay, but how did Dubai pull this off so spectacularly? To really get it, you gotta look at the backstory, because this didn't just happen out of nowhere. Dubai's rise is directly connected to its biggest rival, Singapore, making some moves that opened up a huge opportunity.
You see, for more than a decade, Singapore was the place to be in Asia. It was the undisputed king for wealth management, especially for all the new cutting-edge stuff like crypto and digital assets. It had the reputation, the stability, everything that big money loves.
And this slide just lays it all out perfectly. Look at the contrast. Singapore brought in this big, sweeping license requirement that could take over a year to get. What did Dubai do? It offered a whole menu of options, with licenses ready in just 4 to 6 weeks. While Singapore had all these legal gray areas for Web3, Dubai was like, come on in, with active government support for blockchain. The difference is crystal clear. Singapore focused on containing risk, while Dubai focused on enabling innovation with clear rules. It's kind of obvious why the money started to move, right?
And that brings us right back to what's happening now. This whole crisis, it isn't just another headline. This is the first real stress test of Dubai's new status. Is it actually the stable, reliable safe haven it promised it would be when all that cash was flooding in?
And that leads to the billion-dollar question, or maybe the trillion-dollar question, the one that all those family offices and wealth managers are asking themselves right now. Is the capital that ran away from Singapore's tight rules now going to run away from Dubai's geopolitical risk and head right back?
Well, hold on a second. The experts on the ground are saying, not so fast. They argue that Dubai is a lot tougher than you might think. For starters, they're not seeing some mass exodus of capital. They point to the UAE's diverse economy, its incredible infrastructure, and its strong rules. The general feeling for now? This is all about sentiment, not a fundamental problem with the system. The foundation, they say, is still solid.
But, and this is a big but, there's a flip side.
Even the people who are optimistic about Dubai admit that if this conflict keeps dragging on, some of that money is going to get antsy. Investors absolutely hate long-term uncertainty. And a place like Singapore, with its long-held reputation for being rock solid, it could definitely start to see what experts are calling incremental inflows. In other words, some of that wealth might start trickling back.
To really get the full picture here, we have to zoom out. Because this whole Dubai versus Singapore thing, it's really just one battle in a much, much bigger global game. The hunt for capital.
Just look at this. This chart shows the number of millionaires moving from one country to another every year. It's almost tripled since 2013, and it's on track to double again by 2026. What this means is that the amount of money and the number of wealthy people that is up for grabs is just exploding.
And you know what? This isn't just a competition between the usual suspects anymore. We're seeing countries all over the world, from Europe to the Asia-Pacific, waking up to this. They're changing their visa laws, creating special economic zones. They are all actively trying to attract this mobile capital. It's become a global free-for-all. I mean, just take New Zealand, for example. They completely overhauled their investor visa program. They've created brand new, specific paths for wealthy families to come and get residency. This isn't an accident. It's a very deliberate national strategy to pull in a ton of overseas investment.
So, all of this leaves us with a final, really big question. As the world gets more and more unpredictable, the search for a safe place to park wealth is getting more intense than ever. Dubai is facing its first major test for sure, but it's just one chapter in a much bigger story. This great wealth migration is picking up speed, and the question of where all that money is going to land next, well, that's one of the biggest economic dramas of our lifetime.